What is going on? How is this? Is it good? Good sound? Can you hear me? Should I turn it down more?
Yep. No, you're
Perfect?
good. It sounds good.
No,
We're getting the hang of this. Look
perfect.
at us.
Yes. I've got it on. I'm going to remember the setting. I've got it on 10. So you can hear the volume, or you can hear the music, and you can hear me, right? So that's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're going for.
Sweet. And then music goes away, and it's just us two talking without any background noise. So now we got to be entertaining and without like music in the background and
or distraction sneezes.
Distraction sneezes, coughs, dogs barking, people coming and going. Oh well, nice. It's fine. It's just us now. So my name's Jared Allison. This is Chris, or
hey guys,
that side. We're both real estate agents with Century 21 Alton Clark. I have JDA Florida Homes. Chris is
the Neun Group, Century 21.
Yes, and you can find us if you're interested. You can find me on Facebook at JDA Homes, or if you search for me on YouTube, I've got some videos up there. I do market reports once a month. I have to admit I've been slacking this month just because of the holiday. It's been busy. I haven't had a chance to get that one up, but you can go see some of my other videos on YouTube. You can search for JDA Florida Homes, and then Chris, I'll let you take yours.
Got lost there a little bit. So you can find me pretty much. I am heavy in the Instagram world, but you can find me in Facebook under the Neun Group, and the same thing for Instagram, the Neun Group, and it's pretty simple. You can Google, you can find me there, LinkedIn, wherever. I'm pretty sure a quick Google search of my name, you'll find me very easily.
Sweet. What do you usually post on Instagram? Just a lot of pictures of yourself? Or
so actually, it's majority, I would say about 80 to 85% of real estate related, because I am a business, but I also do sprinkle in personal stuff, because a lot of people want to relate to who they're doing business with. A lot of influencers, for the most part, you see them, their interactions, a video, picture format. So I try to keep it as kind of straight and simple as possible. I'll sprinkle in like some Deadpool stuff and funny captions or some memes that are like hilarious through the storyboards that are real estate related. And then being that we just had Thanksgiving, you'll see photos of me and the family up there.
Okay.
Of course.
Nice. So you kind of hit all the different avenues, not just real estate. So you still got some other interesting things that you're putting up there.
Kind of like more comedic approach for sure. Yeah. And then whatever goes on Instagram, I just share through Facebook business, and then share again through my Facebook personal. So the world can see where I'm at. But this is actually our first podcast back from Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving, man?
Oh, it was good. I ate way too much food. I'm sure just like everybody else, we've got a ton of leftovers in the fridge that we're going to be cleaning out tomorrow. Garbage comes on Friday, so we have to clean it out tomorrow. If we don't, it's a whole nother week that we have to eat those leftovers, or they might go bad. I'm not really sure, but so
that's the best part of like Thanksgiving. Like I had 2 Thanksgivings this year, so pretty much like just eating nothing but leftovers, like more mac and cheese than I've had an entire year, just sitting in my fridge. So just been plowing away at it. It's delicious.
What's your favorite after Thanksgiving? Like, what do you like to prepare other than just heating up some leftovers? Do you use any of the turkey to make some special dish, or the mashed potatoes, or what do you like?
I do something very special, actually, and I call it my slop. So pretty much mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, turkey, corn, cranberry. I throw it into a plate, I heat it up, and then I mix it all together into a giant just slop. And then I just eat it. It's absolutely delicious. Sometimes I'll make a burrito out of it. I'll throw cheese all over it, grated cheese, or make it, or like a burrito, like I said.
Yeah.
That's pretty good stuff. Good. Yeah. But some secondary dish, like a turkey soup. Nah, my mom does that, and she was pretty good at it. But I just like to just devour it.
Yep. I'd say my favorite is taking the ham bone. So we did ham and turkey,
Mm.
And I usually take the ham bone and then some of the leftover ham, and then I do a fresh pot of pinto beans, so dried pinto beans in the crock pot with seasonings and all that kind of stuff. Put the ham bone in there with some ham. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Do that
That's
with
actually
some
sounds
cornbread.
pretty
That's
good.
probably one of my favorite dishes I could eat. As a kid, not so much. I wouldn't go within 100 feet of a bean, but now pintos are good.
What's like the dish that you go to or that you look forward to most of Thanksgiving? Like, what's like, is there like a particular dish or food?
I'd have to say I really like our sweet potato pie. My mom has a really good recipe for sweet potato pie. It includes a lot of butter, a lot of sugar, a little bit more sugar, and a little bit more butter, with a little bit of sweet potato on there, and some pecans on the top. It's really good. It could almost be like just a standalone dessert if you didn't have.
It sounds like
desserts.
it sounds like sweet heaven.
It's
Absolutely.
What's up, Joseph? Joe Conley.
And then we got Bob Deasley in the house too. Does beer work? Absolutely, man. I'm actually drinking a little bit of beer.
Absolutely not. This is whiskey only. Whiskey. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely beer.
Whatever you're craving.
Yeah.
I'm
Beer,
double dipping
water,
over here.
Wine. Hey, that's fine. Bob, what kind of beer are you drinking? Put it in the chat. Joe said, "Oh, you're making me hungry." All the talk about food.
If Joe could speak right now, he'd have some stories for us for sure. We should have Joe on one day. That'll be a lot of fun. Joe,
just for his stories, huh?
Yes, Bob is drinking High Life. I love High Life.
Oh yes, that's a good
Cigar
one.
City Brewery right there.
Yeah,
Cigar City Brewery, going local.
Central Florida somewhere, right?
No, Tampa.
Or is that no Tampa?
That's Tampa.
What it is.
Cigar City, yeah.
Yep.
Bob, if you haven't had it, you should try the Highlight White Oak. That's a really good beer. The Highlight White Oak. That's a good one. But so, speaking of drinks, what are you drinking tonight?
Yes. Well, I went first last week. What do you?
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
So I actually went to my local watering hole and I got what was it's kind of hard to come by a little bit, at least in my local area, and it's Whistle Pig Piggyback 6 years.
Piggyback.
And
okay,
Whistle Pig is an amazing whiskey. I love their stuff. They have never made a bad drink yet, and I've had quite a few of them. And like the 6 year is their lowest level that I'm aware of, and it goes all the way up to the Boss Hog, and it's really good. Very expensive. Yeah.
So the one you have is medium price, is it?
Yes. So you're still looking at about like $40 to $60 for this.
Okay.
About $40, and then the next tier up goes to in the 70s and then 80s, and it goes up from there.
Okay.
So you can get a 10-year. 18-year is around $400.
Oh wow.
It's so good
18 year. Okay.
Yeah, it's so good though.
Time.
Yes.
Just think
and
about
the Boss Hog.
18
years ago,
when that was just pulled out of, it was just made. It was being put into the barrel, and it's going to sit there for 18 years. So what are we in 2021? That was 2003. 18 years ago. That's crazy.
Oh man, I was doing my last year of middle school in 2003.
Oh wow, that was when I graduated high school.
You old man.
Dang, I know. Oh wow, that's fine. Well,
so good.
I am actually. So I talked about it on the last episode that we did, but I did a trip over to Tokyo recently, and I picked up a couple of bottles of whiskey over there, and this one tonight. So I didn't get to try this one last week. So this is a brand new bottle, but I'm doing the Fuji Roku signature blend, and so they use, they do, they blend their whiskeys. It's not just a straight, 10 year, 18 year, or whatever. It's a blended whiskey, but Fuji Sanroku, it actually means the foot of Mount Fuji. So the brewery is actually right there by Mount Fuji, and then they brew everything right there. And
that's really cool.
Lucky enough to find some.
Is it right to call it a brewery instead of a distillery?
Or a distillery. Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
I
know.
meant.
We
That's
gotta
what I
look into
meant.
that. We
Whatever.
can't
I
be like
mean,
talking about whiskey here and calling it a brewery. All the
well,
all the connoisseurs of the whiskey
I
is
know.
slapping us right now.
Well, you know what?
See
They
you,
can go
Joe.
get their own. They can go get their own show and talk about. They can use the right terms and make fun of us on their show.
This is true. We are the
How about
amateurs.
that?
All right, pour
That's
yourself a
right.
drink.
So
Let's toast. I got myself
toast, everybody.
I got a
Cheers.
festive glass.
I've got my Jack Daniel's glass. This
That's
is
awesome. This
tried and
this one
true.
is
It
a
works.
Maker's Mark, a Maker's Mark
Okay.
glass.
Nice. Nice.
Festive.
You got the whiskey ball, the
Oh
whiskey
yeah,
ice cube in there.
yes I do.
Nice. I'm gonna try this one without ice. I've got some ice standing by just in case because I don't know how it's gonna taste.
Well, at
We'll
least
see.
do at least 3 sips neat before, because you got to get your
Yes.
palate warmed up to
Yeah.
it. So,
So
but cheers to
cheers,
everyone else
everybody.
that's watching with us. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Delicious.
That's good stuff.
I was looking forward to this for 4 days.
Yeah.
How smooth is
This
it?
one has it's got a little bit of a bite to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the other one, so I have the other one that I did last week, the Tagashi.
Yep.
Tagashi 8 years. This one is super smooth. That one, you know, you're good without any ice. This one, I might throw an ice cube in just to see how it changes the flavor.
Mm. You know, one day what we need to do is like bring our little podcast here, our own little whiskey with an agent together,
Yes.
and then we can just, you know, as we're talking and discussing, we can go ahead and share each other's whiskeys and like discuss it a little bit too in between.
That is, wow.
That'll be
That's
fun.
a great idea.
That'd be fun. We just meet at the office. We can do it.
I think we should have to do that. They
I think
won't
so
mind
too.
us drinking some whiskey in the office, right?
Nah, it's for a good cause. For this.
Exactly. We're giving out good information. Speaking of good information, tonight we are talking about seasonal real estate. So basically, you know, just like any industry, there's seasons to, you know, everything's kind of cyclical as far as the year goes, and certain times of the year are going to be more busy, other times of the year are going to be less busy. It's the same thing in real estate. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight as far as, you know, kind of the best times to get ready to sell your home, maybe the best time to buy a home, or, you know, when the prices trend upwards, when they start going down, you know, things like that. So everything in real estate is seasonal, regardless of, you know, I mean, COVID and everything has kind of thrown a wrench in a lot of it, but there's still, if you start fine tuning the numbers and start looking at it, it still has a seasonal outlook.
Yeah,
and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So,
and just so y'all, we're going to provide in some stats tonight, but a lot of it's also going to be anecdotal, based on my own experiences and our experiences so far, as well as going off of what NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and our own local board is providing us.
that's what that stands for. I'm just kidding. National Association of Realtors.
Yep.
Thought it was just some like short for gnarly or something.
That missing a couple letters there.
Yeah. So where do you want to start? I mean, there's.
Well, let's start with the season that we're in. So right now we're in a fourth quarter, which is essentially going into our winter months. Like right now we're technically in fall, but we're calling this the fall to the winter season. Now, what typically happens in the fall time nationally, and that is that school's in session. And then on top of that, as once school started, typically August, real estate gets into a little bit of a lull, because majority of movers are, you know, families, and kids kind of drive the where parents need to move to schools. So that's actually a huge driving factor of our real estate market trends. And so once August starts, the real estate kind of goes into a lull, and everyone's trying to find out their routine. And then come towards the September into October, things kind of tick back up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of continues until about November. And then December is actually, according to Sunstats, for the Florida area, December is the most expensive time to kind of purchase because you're coming off of the summer and the market just increased, hit a little bit of a lull, like a little plateau, and then kind of jumped
Right.
back up again, or it just kind of flutters.
Right.
And then that is simply what the fall. And the reason why it kind of peaks there at the December and almost stalls for the most part is because you also have the holidays, Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
then a couple of weeks right down around the corner, we have Christmas. And then right after that is New Year's. So a lot of that money that goes towards down payments is being held onto by buyers so they can travel as well as purchase gifts.
Who wants to buy a house when you can go party somewhere for New Year's Eve?
Yep.
I might
But
not
this,
have that money next year when it comes time to buy the house.
yeah,
And
but there are a lot of serious buyers still out there. And that's
Correct.
why like
Yes.
the market still kind of flutters and continues to tick upward, not at the
Mhm.
rate as you would during the summer months,
Right.
but it still goes up nonetheless.
Yeah. So, did you have some charts up for that kind of show December? I've got the Sunstats
Yeah, but bust
as
open
far
sunsets.
as closed sales. So let me pull that up real quick. Share. All right. Can you see this okay?
Go ahead and make it full screen because we are talking about numbers here.
All right. There's
And
full
then,
screen.
are you able to essentially like zoom in
Yeah.
on like the graph itself?
A lot of stuff. How about that?
There you go. There you go. So starting back from 2008 is when Sunstats started, and you can
Right.
see as naturally as the curve goes, it's going upward as a whole, but you
Right.
can
So
see
there's
where those individual drops.
Right. So there's an overall trend that is going up, and this is for the state of Florida, and this is closed sales. So this is everything that has sold in the state of Florida since 2008. So you can see that as time increases, we are, or as time goes by, there's more and more homes sold. So that is, as a generality, it's increasing overall.
Mm-hmm. And that also means that there are more people selling their houses continually throughout the year.
Correct.
But
Right.
even though like the numbers are increasing, it still replicates the same trend based on our economy
Yeah.
and what's going on at that time of the year. And you can see almost every single December, January is at its lowest point.
Yeah. So let's look. So here's December, and then goes to January. It drops in January 2009. Here's
Mhm.
December 2009. January 2010, it drops again.
Yep.
Let's see. Here's December. So here it kind of delayed a little bit, and then
It peaked
I'm sorry.
real quickly,
Yeah, it peaked
but
for
then it
a little
dropped.
bit, and then dropped in January, and then it started increasing. So you can start to see these trends that, in December to January, there's going to be a pretty big fluctuation. I mean, do you
Mhm.
agree with that?
Yes, there is a big fluctuation. That's why it's arguably that December is the most expensive time
Right.
of the year to kind of essentially purchase, even though it's a little bit softer. But it also means not a lot of people are putting their house on the market, so the inventory kind of drops, which kind of
Yeah.
holds that price. But come like January and into February, really is when things start picking back up in terms of buyers as well as sellers.
Right.
But it will take the whole month of January and possibly, yeah, I would say about the whole month of January that you can actually probably you'll see homes sit on the market longer than normal, and that you can essentially probably get away with a less of an asking price instead of an at list price, especially if the home has been sitting more than the average days on market, which is currently, I think, at 16.
Right.
16 days on market, which
Right.
is that's actually incredibly fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So December
So
time, wouldn't necessarily be buying. January, you have a small window to where you can possibly get something for a good price or a good deal.
yes.
And then
So I'm
February, people are going to come back up.
Yep. So I'm kind of going through this graph here real quick, so you can see January 2012, 2013, 2014. So you can see across the board, January is pretty much the low point of closed sales, and like Chris was saying earlier, a lot of that is just due to the fact that, hey, we're in the holidays right now. It's
sellers aren't selling.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, people are saving their money. They're not going to spend their down payment on a house right now because they got, presents or whatever you celebrate, and they got stuff to do. They got family coming in. They don't have, it might not even be a money thing. You don't have the time to do it because you got family maybe coming in, or you're going on vacation, or whatever the case may be. So that trends into January, where people are just like, all right, I got to recover, not buying anything in January. And then it starts picking back up. Let me throw that back up there. It starts picking back up February, March, April.
And that's the summer.
Yeah. And so then that starts going in. But the main thing, for the winter time, you can see January is, so if you're going to buy something, I mean, and my thought is you would want to really look in that December, January, going in and actually buy it in January, because it's
December,
there's
January
activity.
exactly. So, and just a reminder that the graph indicates not the price but the amount of homes that sell each during that time frame. And when you have very little selling, that means there's going to be either a low inventory because no one is putting it on the market, but there's also, it means less buyers, which creates a better opportunity for buyers who are actively looking during that time. Because Bethany and I, when we bought this house, we actually scheduled an appointment to see 3 homes January 1st of 2020. So January 1st. So we were up all night. Like we knew exactly what we wanted to do, and we got into this house. That we got it was on the market for 14 days. So that means they came on right at Christmas time. And it is a gorgeous house. Like, I'm going to toot my own here. Like, we got a deal on this house. We were able to get it for less than asking, or less than list price. And on top of that, we were able to ask for closing costs.
Yeah.
So,
and that was in January
2020. So this was just before the crash. Okay. This was just before the crash, but the market closed. The economy closed, but the market was still trending very much upward, just like how you see. So everyone was getting into multiple offers, but we got this one. So if you're a buyer who doesn't mind waiting during this time, during now and then the second or third week of January, you should be going hard in the paint, looking at everything that you can.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I agree. So so basically what you're saying is, if I'm ready to buy a house, I should start looking now and get ready to purchase something in January.
Yes. Yeah. Between December and January, you need to be looking during the holidays, because a lot of people are not going to. They're going to pause. They will pause, except for the serious ones. Absolutely. And that is arguably the best time of year to buy. It's not going to be in March, June, July, August. Absolutely not. So
now, on the flip side of that, so new listings. So, part of looking in December is the amount of new listings is typically, so here's December, here's December, here's December. So the amount of new listings, so you're not going to have as much selection as you would during the summer months, because not a lot of people are listing their home in December because of all the reasons we talked about, the holidays, Christmas, everything. Here's December. So you can see that.
Keep going in the most immediate into the year, and then like the most current years. 2018, look how much of a difference between the January to
new
February.
Listings from December to January, so that's an additional like 11,000, just call it 11,000 listings that people are listing their home. Here's 20,000 to 33, so 13, 21 to 31, so 10,000. 23 to 28. That's 5, but that was in 2020. That was this year.
21,
so
yeah.
a little bit,
and that's stuff, COVID,
and,
yeah.
But nonetheless, so when you're looking in December, you have to understand that there's not going to be as much selection, but when the time comes, you've already looked at those homes, whereas a lot of people who have put it on pause, they haven't even seen the homes that are listed in December, where you've already looked at everything. You already know, so you're already ready for all the new stuff that's going to be popping up in January. So you're already ahead of the game.
Yep. So, and then when January reports come out, which is the 15th of every single month, they report the month previous or prior.
Right.
So given that we're about to go into December, we're actually in December, we won't know what's going on with the market for November until December 15th. So we have another solid 14 days to go before we know how November looked. So there are some speculations. I have definitely noticed, I don't know about you, Jared, pretty much a steadfast, almost like a kind of a plateau in nature. The median price has dropped about $2,000 right now. So it was at, I think, at 320. Now it's at 318 for a median price. Hey, Jenny, welcome.
Hey,
I hope you got your drink on.
Yeah, right.
And
so you're talking about the median sales price? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
All right. Let me pull that chart up here. So then, before I pull that chart up, so just a little story about when I was selling my house, my previous house, back in 2017, 2018, I had, the idea of, well, hey, let's spend December of getting it ready. I'm gonna get it painted. I'm gonna change all the outlets to make them, the bright white outlets, and all the plate cover, the switch covers, make everything nice. And, you got family coming in town and all that kind of stuff. So you're getting your house ready, not only to list, but, for family coming in town. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to list it in December. I'm going to wait till January. And that's what I did. So, I listed, so I was one of those people that fell into the trap of not a trap, but fell into that statistic of, I'm not going to list it in December. I'm going to get it ready. And then New Year's resolution, we're listing the house. Everything is ready. And then it was crickets.
Kind of crickets. Yeah.
Yeah. It was crickets. Literally, it was crickets. I mean, the initial, you always get that initial push. About the first week, you get several showings, and then it starts dipping off a little bit. And we were, we were adequately priced, and but it was just, we'd have a showing here and there. And this is back in 2000 January 2018, and so it was just, it wasn't until late, like a few months later, where we actually sold it, when the market actually starts picking up.
Kind of kept coming back up.
What we're going to talk about here in a second. But that was kind of a side story here. But so we were talking about the median sales price.
Yes, but that was the anecdotal evidence. I was a seller, as well as a realtor as well. Knowing that, I will wait till New Year, whereas everyone else is also waiting to New Year. So you kind of missed out the height. The inventory is now low. No one is buying, so the median price is instantly going to kind of drop. And on top of that, you're going to be one of an average of 10,000 other sellers who's going to put their house on the market in the same month. So now you just saturated the market.
Yes.
All right. So now you're not just the only competition. You now have 10,000 competitors that are all roughly trying to see at the same price point, but it's not going to necessarily happen because the market has dipped. So everyone is going to be sitting for at least a couple weeks, and all the good ones will fly really quickly. So Jenny is a local agent, and she works with us. She's having water tonight. I can appreciate that. She probably went a little too hard in Vegas, or was it Hawaii? Can't remember. Yeah, there's plenty of water in this right here. But so going in, so we've definitely established that the wintertime is the time to buy. Hawaii. Nice, Jenny. That's established point of fact. You can definitely get it from December to January. That's going to be the best time to go ahead and purchase. Now, from January going into the spring season, we've already showed you the stats where the number of homes coming on the market is essentially about 10,000 on average, and that's going to kind of ride. And if you pulled up the Sunstats again, if you look at February into March, the number of homes that comes on the market kind of stays relatively stagnant, and it stays right there, like kind of a plateau. And then what happens is that the more homes that purchase shows that there's more buyers. So the higher that number of homes sold increases, it just also shows. See, we're at new listings.
Yeah, new listings.
Yeah. So if we go to the solds real quick.
Let's see where.
So you can see the amount of homes that sold stays relatively close to each other. So that means there are still a number of sellers, the same amount of sellers coming onto the market. And that's what creates this real heat wave from spring season into the summer. Because there's no major holidays with the exception of 4th of July, where a lot of people are moving. You're asking for only maybe 2 or 3 days. But the spring season really kicks up because people are already starting to look at where the next move is. And we've already established the majority of movers are going to be families. School's about to end. The grass is starting to appear. The snow is starting to melt. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So that is going to.
Sometimes it smells too. I mean, if it has, the yellow snow and the brown snow, it can smell.
Some slosh there.
Yeah.
And so when you are a buyer looking at those times, yes, you'll have more free time during that time, especially if you're a family, but you're also going to be going up against other families who are looking to relocate as well. As a seller, the peak season is going to be, from my opinion, and what the stats show, is going to be from March to June, July.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to find it. So to buy, not the best time.
Right. Here's the crazy thing. So Jenny, I actually did a photo shoot for her the other day for a house that she listed. I'm going to put her comment up here. She listed a house on the night before Thanksgiving at 11 p.m. She had a contract at 11:38. That's crazy.
So that's a sight unseen offer right there. I don't recommend those, but they happen a lot. Yeah.
What are these people doing before Thanksgiving? Or shouldn't they be getting their turkey ready or something and not looking for houses online to put offers on? I mean,
that's the madness of our current market right now, man. Like, we have less than a month's supply.
Yeah.
Like, our rate of absorption is nuts.
Yeah.
And if we look at I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to share my screen real quick. I should be able to.
Yeah, you should.
So this is October. So like I said before, you should be able to see this. Can you see this okay?
Let me turn it on.
Oh, it's not turned on.
There we go. You're good.
Okay. So like I said before, we won't know what November looks like until December 15th. So right now we're stuck on October stats, and you can see the madness that has occurred in terms of a median price year over year for October. And it's popped off at 325, and now it's around 318 is what I'm seeing here. But you can see just from the COVID and everything that's happening, it's quite wild to see the median price go up the way that it has over the average. The gray is average, the blue is median price. So on average, look at that shit. Jesus, 300.
I know.
83,000.
I tend to look at the median sales price because for me, it seems to be a little bit better information as far as what's going on. Whereas the average, because you're taking homes that are all the way up in the $1 million range and all the way down in the $200,000 or $100,000 range, and you're taking an average. Whereas the median, it's taken the very middle of those prices. So for me, the median price, I usually go to that a little bit more.
Yeah,
it gives me a little bit more information.
It gives you a better, more realistic price, because if you have a house that is actually worth $325 and you post it at $383, everyone that's buying and looking is going to think that you're absolutely crazy. They're literally going to think that you're absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And here's if you want to see that on, give me.
And all the information, all the stats are available to the public through ORA, Orlando Regional Realtor Association, market stats. And then Sunstats, I believe, is realtor access only.
Yes, it is. So here's the median sales price from Sunstats. So, and this only dates back to 2008, but you can see from 2008, it was $214,000. It dipped down to 140, 122, but basically
from the crash.
Bottomed out at 122, and look, I mean, it just kept going up, and then it kind of accelerated right here in April, May of 2020. It really accelerated the increase to where our median sales price for the state of Florida right now is $359,000. $359,000. That is insane.
Yeah, that's as of September. That's as of September.
Yeah. So that's what, a couple months ago. So the October stats will be out soon. November stats will be out soon.
Yeah.
But it's it's actually, no, that for October it was $359 in October. So October is out, November is not out yet.
Yeah.
So, but still $359 all the way from 122 back in
And this year,
2011.
This year alone, the amount of multiple offers per sold home for the nation, I believe, peaked at 5.2 offers per sold home for the nation. Mm-hmm. That is wild. It tells you the whole nation is moving. And predominantly from major metropolitan areas, heavy, dense, populated areas, especially coming from the Northeast, are moving. They're moving south. Like, they have tons of money. A lot of their jobs are allowing them to relocate or be able to work from home. So they're able to do that. So people who've been stuck and where they're at because of a job, now able to move, they are 100% taking advantage of that, and they're taking their money with them because they're able to maintain that same money, and their money goes a lot further here in Florida. And surprisingly, Florida is not even in the top 5 most desirable states to live in right now. It's kind of that's crazy. Yeah, interesting. Washington, of all places, I'm surprised, is
Washington State.
Yes, Washington State.
All right.
Washington, Texas, Arizona, I think is before Texas, and I think even New York City is starting to come up a little bit, but Florida is, I think, number 5 or number 6.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I mean, so New York is above Florida. Is that what you saw?
I think it's. If you want to give me a minute, if you want to talk, I'll pull it up here.
Well, I mean, it's curious to me because the taxes in Florida. I mean, there's no state tax,
no income tax,
that's what I meant. No state income tax.
Correct.
So that's why a lot of people move to Florida, is for the lack of state income tax. So it's kind of weird that Florida wouldn't be a little bit higher. It seems like a lot of people are moving to Florida right now. I've worked with some buyers that we're selling places in California. I've worked with people that are and then moving to Florida, Midwest, up in the New York area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of people moving here, but I didn't realize that we weren't number 1. I want to show you this one real quick. So we talked about how the median sales price was going up. So look at this chart. This is the month supply of inventory all the way back from 2008. So we had around 17, almost 18 months of inventory back in 2009. How crazy is that?
That is a buyer's market, 100% buyer's market.
You could walk in and ask for you could ask
offer
for
them
the moon.
dirt.
Yes.
No, you're offering dirt. You can go in there and offer them dirt with a high five, and a seller would be like, "Thank you,
thank you for giving me." Yeah, that's crazy. But so if you remember the chart where the median sales price was going up, you can see it kind of coincides with the month supply of inventory, how it's going down, and then it goes into a normal market here for a while. When things kind of settle down, right about 4 to 5 months supply of inventory, and then we get to May of 2020, and then that's where things kind of accelerated. People stopped listing their homes, people were still buying homes, and we just started losing inventory to where it bottomed out. I mean, we sat about 1 month supply of inventory in Florida for several months, and we're not much more than that right now. I mean, currently for October, it was 1.3 months supply of inventory. And for those of you that don't know exactly what that means, it means if nobody listed their home right now for the next 1.3 months, we would sell out of homes. I mean, that's essentially what it means.
Yeah. Yes.
So
current absorption rate. That's 100% correct.
Correct. So yeah, if nobody listed their home, we would sell out of homes by beginning of February or the end of January, essentially. We'd have no more homes for sale. Nobody could buy a home, and that was it.
Yep.
And, a lot of people would be out of business.
Quite literally.
So, I mean, but it's, I don't know, the COVID thing, it's really... It's hard to predict exactly what's going to go on now because we haven't been in this situation before.
No, this is very interesting. This is all new, and a lot of people are saying it's going to crash, it's going to crash, it's going to crash. Like the 2008 crash was man-made. That was man-designed. This is a true demand for homes. And the study shows like a low inventory. Oh, there's not enough sellers. Well, in reality is that we've actually, if you go back to the new listings on Sunstats, we've actually seen the peak of more and more sellers every single year. It's still increasing. There's just that much more buyers than there are people willing to actually sell at this time. So this cannot continue to go up. Is eventually going to level off because once the country has officially finished its moving cycle, it's going to level out and it's going to come back down to a more stable, more normal market. I don't think we're going to see a buyer's market for a long time. I really don't. I don't see it.
No. Look at active inventory right now. I mean, we were in 2008, 229,000 homes for sale in 2008. Again, there was a lot of stuff about to go on in 2008, so.
Well, yeah, the crash had occurred. What does September 21 look like in terms
September, let's see, September 21, 37,781, 36,000 or almost 37,000 for October. So, but here for 2014 through about 2019, it was pretty stable. And you can see we're right there in the mid 90s. Here it's in the low 100,000 houses for sale.
Yeah. Yep.
So and that's where it should be right now. To give you an idea, we're at 36,900
for the state of Florida.
For the state of Florida, that's for the entire state, not just a particular county. This is for the entire state right now. Or you can see in April where it bottomed out, right about just over 30,000 homes for sale. And let's see, that was in April of 2021. Let's see what April should be. Should be right around 90,000 homes for sale. So we're about almost, a third of where we should be. I mean, we're it's crazy. It's
Yep.
absolutely insane.
Yeah. And the kind of going back to it, like where it is now to where it should be, and then going into next year, predictions. What does next year look like? What is next year prediction? Well, here's some things that just got released today from the FHA. They are loan limits had just increased. I don't remember the exact numbers, but as of today,
Hmm.
conventional loans was in the high fives, and now it's been increased to the low 600,000 without going into a jumbo loan. And FHA was at, I think, 389 to is now up into the 400s, so low fours now, which is a huge increase and allowing buyers more purchase power. Being that the as of today, Omicron variant of COVID
Yes.
has hit California. We have one case so far of Omicron. Now
Hmm.
that pretty much kind of the Fed was looking to, I guess, increase rates by Friday, but in light of
Mm.
this new Omicron
Yeah.
variant, everyone is kind of at a steadfast.
Right.
So interest rates might actually drop by Friday. So the market in terms of like stocks and stuff like that is very volatile
Yes.
because someone utters a new variant, like everyone stops and sees what happened. So going into next year, the Fed has said that they have to increase interest rates, and they're going to
Right.
because there is just so much money in the economy right now. Inflation is at an all time high, to
Hmm.
my understanding. So people's purchase power is able to increase. They're able to use more money to more purchase power, especially with the
Hmm.
low interest rates that are at.
Yes.
So it's going to be very helpful in terms of purchasing. But I think this market is going to continue at its current trend, and eventually it's going to just level out.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I'm not sure. But next summer is going to be a bad time and a hard time for a lot of buyers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And especially so talking about seasons of real estate, we've kind of hit, what happens in the winter,
mhm.
the fall going into the winter. So coming up in the spring, typically real estate is going to start picking up. That's when more homes are going to be listed. We've seen in some of those charts more homes, starting in January, but then they pick up even more going into March, April, May timeframe. A lot of that is due to the fact that summer is coming up. So kids are getting out of school for the summer. So what happens is we don't want to move while the kids are in school. So
Yep.
we're gonna try to time it as best we can and put our home on the market somewhere in February, March timeframe and sell it. And then that way, by the time we sell it, we're moving out. Kids are out of school. It's the summertime. We move to our new house, and then we're already settled. Kids are good, and then they can start their new school year in the new school system or whatever the case may be. What you got to be careful with right now is and this worked fine several years ago when you could list your house in March or April, and it might take a month or month and a half or even 2 months to sell your home. Right now, you put your house out there, you have to have a game plan to be out of that house in about, because you're going to be under contract.
Anywhere from 2 weeks to 4.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So you're going to be under contract really quick, and then, you're potentially, you could close on a house if it's a cash offer. I mean, you're just waiting on the title company to do all the title searches, the title insurance, all that kind of stuff. And that takes a week and a half, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So you're out of your house in 2 weeks. So you put it on the market, you could be out of your house in about 2.5, 3 weeks. So you got to be careful if you're planning to move during the summertime. You've got to really look at the market. Your agent should tell you, hey, if you don't want to move until the kids are out of school, we need to back it up, 3 weeks before that. If we list it in March, chances are you're going to be sold and looking for a new house before the kids are out of school. So,
yeah. And another thing too, I'm really glad that you kind of brought that up because having a game plan is extremely important because a lot of sellers end up in the position of being the buyer. Therefore, they're contingent upon the sale of their property to purchase the next property, meaning that the equity that they have, because they don't have the cash, a lot of sellers don't have the cash on hand to purchase their next property. So they have to sell their first property, use that equity to purchase the next. So you just became the buyer. And now you're stuck out there trying to find a house, and it's going to take you an average of 80 days to 180 days to be able to find and close. 100 to 180 days in this market right now. For some of the markets, I was messing with HomeBot, Jared. I know we brought this up before, and actually you can see like a heat map, and it tells you on average how long homes sell. And then how long it takes for a buyer to find a house. And I was seeing an average of 80 to 185 days to actually be able to purchase a property within some of these areas. So having a game plan is extremely important. What were you going to say?
Yes. No, and that's including, because what's happening a lot of times now is you're selling your house and you've got to go buy a new house. You have to factor in the time that it's going to take to put an offer on a house, not get that house, search for a new one, offer on that house, not get that house, search for a new. You see where I'm going with that is things are moving so quick. If you're not at the top of the offer pool, if you're not offering full price or more, or some sort of creative, something creative, exactly, then you have to be prepared to lose the first house, lose the second house, maybe even lose the third house. Hopefully you've maybe
some of these buyers are offering up to 10 offers before they get successful. Some of my buyers, so the price point, if you're between 200 or even below, so let's just say 150 to as high as 400, you're looking at multiple offers, and even into like the high 6s, 7, 8s, 9s, you're looking at multiple offers. So it's quite wild and quite frustrating for a lot of buyers. So having a game plan is super crucial in terms of, and what I recommend, if you can move temporarily to a family member, or do an extended stay, or try to find a temporary rental, set the money aside and move into that. That way you lose the contingency of the sale of your house. So sell your house, remove that contingency, because you could offer $10,000 over the asking price with, waiving the appraisal contingency. But because you have the looming fact that you still have to sell your house first, your offer will get skipped over for something that's less and more of a guarantee.
Absolutely.
Because there's no guarantee when it comes to contingency offers, plain and simple. There's no guarantee. So you have to lose it. You have to have a game plan.
And you have to look at from the seller. If you're a buyer, you have to look at it from the seller's perspective, and the fact that if they've got 10 offers or 15, how many did you have, Chris? Weren't you working
30.
on like 25, 30 offers? Okay.
At Deltona.
30 in Deltona. So if you have 30 offers on one house, and if half of those don't have a contingency and the other half have a contingency, which one are you going to start leaning towards?
It's more about, it comes down to like the guarantee. If you can guarantee the seller X amount of dollars, you're going to win. However, some sellers, they want to see, they want to see the home go to a family, someone, a young couple that kind of reminds them of themselves. And then some sellers are just like, listen, I need to retire off of this. Like I need as much money as I can. And so you have to look at it from a buyer and a seller perspective. And that's where it really is about that balance. But if you're going to be a buyer in this market, it's all about strength as well as creativeness, as well as patience. If you plan on trying to get it pre-approved and try to be out of your lease within a month, good luck. You got to be willing to move to the boondocks. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
If you're trying to find something, if you want something local of a price
Right.
point 250 in the Orlando area, and
Right.
within a month time, not happening
No, not
unless it's
right now.
cash.
Not right now. And that kind of leads me to another thing that when we were talking about this episode is when is the right time? I mean, I want to try to phrase it properly, but when is the right time, not seasonally, but the right time for you to buy a house? So I'll give you an example. So for me, when I was buying my house in 2014, I had people telling me, it's like, oh, you don't want to buy a house yet. The market is kind of, it's still recovering from blah, 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 blah.
That was the time to buy.
And, but it was just, maybe it was a little bit earlier, or 2013 when I was looking, I can't remember. But there was people that were telling me, and I hear this all the time, it's like, oh, you don't want to buy a house right now. It's not the right time. And we're not talking about seasonally. We're talking about things that are going on economically, with everything. But my thought was the best time for me to buy a house is when I'm ready to buy a house. Now there are some financial decisions that I had to make before I said yes or no. However, if you're ready to buy a house financially, and you got to maybe have a growing family, and it's time for you to upgrade or move out of the apartment or the rental house or whatever the case may be, if you're ready to buy the house, then guess what? It's the right time to buy the house. Yep. You can't wait on the market trends and the seasonal stuff and all that kind, the COVID to go away, because guess what? As soon as you wait for that to go away or something to happen, pew, prices skyrocket, something happens. I mean, maybe
something else is going to happen.
Right. Maybe you get lucky and they crash, but man, it's, if it's the right time for you to buy a house, by all means, go buy a house. I mean, that's what I learned from when I was buying the house. It was the right time for me. I was ready to buy the house. I had the down payment, and why would I wait? Yeah. If I would have waited, I would have been paying more for that same house that I bought. So,
here's something too. Like, you have to go off of your own terms, right? And if you're going to buy a house, you need to start at least 6 months now. And I'm not talking about searching, but preparing. Like, talk to a lender, get with a realtor, say, hey, here's my 6-month goal. I want to be out of this lease by XYZ. Get approved. And that way you can see what your true purchase power is. And then over the next 6 months, watch the market, go see homes. And as time gets closer, you'll start getting more serious. You'll continue during that time to build your credit, build up your savings, so you actually become stronger in the eyes of an underwriter. And when it comes to that 3-month mark, which I would recommend 3 to 4 months, you need to start being serious and start considering placing offers.
Correct.
Because you will lose, depending on your price point. You have to be okay with losing, no matter what time of year it is. We could tell you until we're blue in the face with the facts that December to January is the best time of the year, but you got to be ready to not be able to purchase or find a house or have your offer accepted until March.
Right.
That's a very real scenario.
Yeah. And the other thing that does for you, starting 6 months out, it gets you in the mindset of the real estate business, what it's going to take. Just like
watching
anything,
the market,
I mean, you're learning, you're preparing, you're learning, you're getting ready. So, you're going to battle. I mean, you don't just show up to day one of battle time and
without boot camp
sword and let's go. But no, you prepare, you train, and then you go to battle, and you have somebody, a good leader, real estate agent, whatever the case may be, who's going to lead you into that battle and say, all right, this is how it works. This is our strategy. This is where we're going.
Yep.
And
it's a battle that's not win or fought by strength in numbers. it's purely like strategy, and you have to have a good strategy.
Yeah, I agree. Hey,
And you
who's
got to
still
work
in
it.
the? We still got a couple people watching here. Who's chime in the chat? Let us know. I mean, what do you guys think about all this? Are we
Feasible.
just completely way off, or I mean, is this making sense? I mean, let us know in the chat. I'm curious to see what you guys think. And,
Any questions?
Yeah. If there's any questions
So,
or anything, I mean, let us know. I don't know what else do you think about the seasonal real estate, Chris?
I think you brought up a really good point in terms of like when it's good for you, go ahead and buy. And no one said that this has to be your first home to live in.
Right.
So here's a thought. You can do an Airbnb. You can purchase a home for about $100,000, or even like an Airbnb or an investment property for $100,000. We have a beautiful country that has plenty of opportunities to where you can invest on a property that will cost you maybe $20,000. So if you can save up 20 grand and then go ahead and invest in a property like a mountain property or an oceanfront condo that allows short-term rentals,
right,
somewhere along the coast. Like, again, it doesn't have to be a major spot or anything like that. And then you Airbnb it, and then you'll start generating revenue, pay off that investment. That way it's 100% cash flow minus the expenses. And then you can, within the next year or so, use that money to actually purchase your house that you want to live in. Like, not the end all be all, but at least a beginner home. Like, this is for Bethany and I. This is a beginner home where we're going to hold on to this home, because when we move out of it, this is going to become a rental.
Right.
So
yeah, that's what I wanted to do with our last home, but financially it wasn't feasible, because like a lot of people, we were selling that home and using the proceeds to purchase the home that we're in now, the down payment and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But it's give you an idea of how, I think we talked about this before, but I still can't get over the fact that when I bought my first home in 2000, I'm pretty sure it was 2014, it was I paid $150,000 for it. It was a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,700 square feet. I know we're going into like reminiscing good old 2014. Oh, it's so, yeah.
The market was so much different, and everything was so expensive at that time.
I know. Yeah. So we bought this home for $150,000. In 2018, we sold it for just under $230,000. That was in 2018. The couple we sold it to, they sold it early this year for $300,000. So that house doubled in price from 2014 to 2021. In 7 years, it doubled in price. Now, that kind of goes back to, if I would have listened to people telling me, hey, you don't want to buy a home yet, it's, whatever the case, whatever they were telling me, I don't remember. I don't think I really, obviously I didn't listen to them because I bought a home. But if I would have waited, guess what? That $150,000 home, because I would have rented a house for a couple of years, and then I would have been paying more for the same home. I would have been paying more. I mean, again, you don't know if I got lucky. You don't know if the market's going to go up. You don't know if it's going to go down. I mean, you have your predictors, but and your experts out there, but you never 100% know exactly what is going to happen. So again, if it's the right time, buy
for
a
you.
house.
Go buy a house, man.
Just go buy a house.
Yeah. And if you don't know exactly what you're doing, go talk to your friend who's in real estate, so long as they got years of experience. And reach out to Jared or myself or really anyone that has that does work for sure. And don't be afraid to ask like history, see history.
Oh yeah. I mean, Chris, you do quite a bit. You've been in it. How long have you been in it for real estate for now?
6 years, 4 months.
6 years. Well, you got down to the month. All right. Let's see. I started in it last year. I got my license last year, but I started studying for the course and my test in 2018. Guess what got me into it? I was like, hey, I can. When I was getting ready to sell my home, I was like, hey, this would be a great time for me to start studying and get my real estate license. I studied, but then I never got my license until 2020 when COVID hit. I wasn't flying very much, and then I was like, all right, this is the time. So technically I've been in it for, a year and a half now. July of last year is when I got my license.
Nice.
So,
and you've been doing good work too, man.
But it's been crazy. I've been pretty lucky. I mean, I pushed pretty hard as far as the marketing side goes, and I jumped into photography. I learned a lot from our broker, James Clark. I've been on photo shoots with him to learn how to do photography and videography and do drone work and all that kind of stuff. So I do my own drone or my own photography. Chris, you do your own photography. It's I don't know. I could go on a rant about photography just because I've been in it for a little bit now, and I hate when I see, okay, here we go, click, here we go, click, here we go, click.
Is that the new Google Pixel? Pixel 6?
It is. Oh, you recognize because of the yeah. It's and then this is the nice leather case. It's a Bellray case. I'm not getting sponsored by them, so I don't care if you buy it or not. But yeah.
How do you like it? Is that the 6 or the 6 Pro?
The 6 Pro, and it's fast. So I had the Pixel 2 before that, so I haven't bought a phone in quite a while. 4 years to be exact. 2017 is when I bought that Pixel 2, and it lasted me for quite a while. So this is the Pixel 6 Pro. It's super nice. It's
very affordable.
Is
in comparison.
Yeah, it has the curved edges. I'm not a big fan of the curved edges, and then it's real. If you don't have a case on it, it's super slick in your hand, so you really have to hold on to it. With the case, it's not bad.
There you go.
But I like it.
The Google Pixel XL right here.
Oh, nice.
It's been a good phone.
Which one is that?
The XL.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
How long ago was that one come out?
I think it's like a Google Pixel 3, but they call it the XL, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not entirely sure, but it's been a good phone to me. I intend on holding on to this one. I'm going to upgrade to the Google 6. I'm doing research right now between the 6 and the 6 Pro, and I'm leaning more towards the 6. But I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to wipe this one clean, and then use that for maybe like a hotspot kind of feature thing, random stuff like that. But yeah, man.
Right on.
But when it comes to photography, I definitely know this feature. It's too many agents. Too many agents, man.
If there's anything you're gonna do, just if you're gonna take pictures, this makes the world of difference from here. If you're doing this, no. Turn it this way, that'll make the world of difference. Yeah. It's just even if
play with the angles.
Yeah, but there's more to it than just turning it sideways. There's we could go into a whole lesson on that, but
we should talk about like sellers, because like if you're a seller and if your agent is doing this with a phone of their photos, even if it's this, the fact that they're holding a phone for your photos, you are overpaying for that agent.
Yes. So I tell you what, when you're going to sell your home and you're interviewing an agent, before you even talk about commissions, marketing, blah, 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 ask them, what do you do for photography? What do you do for video? What do you do for 3D tours? What do you do for aerials?
Examples, and provide examples. Like
ask me examples, yes. And are you going to do that for my house? If they tell you, if they start bumbling around it and they say, well, I've got a really good iPhone that takes great. Nope. Don't do it. Go talk to the next one. Go find one, because
they're out there.
They're out there.
We're out there.
Yes,
We are out there, and it's not hard. Like you can pull up an agent. Like you can just go through Zillow agents closest to you, and then just go through them, and you can see their sold inventory through Zillow, or you can contact them and say, hey, I am shopping for agents. Send me all of your listings for the past year.
Yes.
And then ask that question, and then get that information for them. Because if you're a seller trying to sell in this market, it's a beautiful time, but you also want to make sure you're dealing with a professional that can properly represent you and actually sell your house within 4 days of an average. That's my average, is 4 days.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice.
Yep.
Here's a challenge to people listening. Go look up Chris's listings. Go look up my listings and compare our photos. Well,
I'll tell you what.
First off, hold on. Compare my photos to Chris's photos.
Oh,
see which ones are better.
Don't you dare.
See which ones are better.
Don't you dare.
And then you can let me know personally which ones are better, because it's going to be mine anyways. But take those and compare it to other photos, other agent photos, and see what you find out. I'm curious to see what everybody
find out that I'm better.
I think.
So here's what I'm going to do for the crowd.
Right.
Here's what I'm going to do for the crowd.
All right.
I am going to take all of my my listings for this year, and I'm going to generate a link, and I'm going to put it in the description.
Okay. And is the description or the comments or?
In the comments. In the comments.
Okay. All right.
So if anybody wants to see my record, which you can find on my social media anyways, because I always I advertise it.
So these are so can I throw in, am I allowed to do photos from other agents that hire me to do their listings? Can I throw those in, or do I have to do my own
if you took the photos, that is yours.
All right. Man, you better have some good photos. You better,
sir.
Oh, man.
Sir.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I have 25. What do you have?
25 what?
I have 25 listings in the past 12 months.
Well, I don't have that many, but I have done...
Hold on. Some of these are sprinkled into buyers. That shouldn't be the case. My sold listings in the past 12 months. Yeah, there's something wrong with that.
Well, yeah, I don't quite have since I've only been in it for a little bit. I've got just a couple of listings that I've done. But I have a ton of photos that I've done for other agents as well. And so some of them are multi-million-dollar homes. 3, I think. So there was one agent that I shot over in Inverness. No, I didn't shoot her. I shot the house. And it was
That's funny.
It was like a $3.5 million house. It actually, so here you go. Here's the topper, and I don't know if she's watching right now, but she's a friend of mine, and I shot the house, and it's like a $3.5 million house, $3 million, I can't remember, but the house sold to a guy named Tyreek Hill, who plays football.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chiefs.
So, yes, exactly. So this guy.
You sold the house to Tyreek Hill?
No, I didn't. I took the photos for the agent who sold the house. So it's like that's. Yes. So guess what? Tyreek Hill saw my photos, said, "Hey, I like that house. Those photos are so good. I like that house. I'm going to come buy it." So boom. How do you beat that? Thank you. Drop the mic. I can't because it'll break. But all right. See, you're speechless. I get it. It's all good. It's all good. We should just end the.
No, it was pretty good, man. Like you got to celebrate to buy the house on yours. So I still think we should go ahead and like throw up our like what it mean to have a professional to photography.
Tell you what, let's make it even easier. Let's find our best photo, what you think is your best photo, and we'll put it up there and let people compare. Oh,
I
whatever you got.
guess.
Oh,
Are we talking
whatever.
inside, outside? What are we talking
And
here?
whatever you think is your money shot, your best photo that you've taken, whether it's photoshopped with a twilight or whatever the case may be. Take your best photo. We'll even give you two. I'll give you two. You can pick two. So that way, if you want to do exterior, interior, you can. So we'll both pick two. We'll put it in the comments, and we'll let people judge which ones are better. I think that's fair, right? A little competition. Then we'll have to decide on the next show what the prize is for the winner. I don't know. Bragging rights, I guess.
All right. Well, here I'm going to show you my best photo right now, and this is going directly to you, Jared. So
directly to me.
Here you go.
Are you sending it through?
I shared it. I screen shared it.
Oh, there it is. Oh, come on. Whatever.
'Tis the season.
Whatever. Get out of here.
All right. Best photos. I'm still going to throw up the link of everything that I've done so far for this year. But I will post a photo that I think, man, that's going to be hard. Do two photos, one exterior and one interior. I think that's fair.
Okay. I might do two exteriors.
Oh,
I don't know.
Are we one up in it, sir? Are we increasing it, sir?
I don't know.
Maybe?
No.
You don't
I'm
know?
just saying, we get two to choose from, so we'll see. But either way, I'm sure everybody's heard enough of us talking about
blap, blap,
our little photo contest. But so on the real, if you have questions about when you should buy a house, if you should buy a house, what's the best time to buy a house, what season, whatever, give us a call, shoot us a message, let us know. Again, as I said, you can reach us on Facebook, me, JDA Homes on Facebook. You can search my YouTube, JDA Florida Homes. Chris on Facebook, the Neun Group, and Instagram, the Neun Group. Is it the Neun Group on Instagram as well, or just Neun Group?
The Neun Group.
The Neun Group. I'll have a little posting or one of these little things down here in the bottom left for you the next episode with your Instagram. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, you know where to find us. We've told you 100,000 times where you can find us, and we're always happy to talk about real estate. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Join us on the next one. At some point, we're going to be talking about Zillow and what the heck is going on with the
It should be Friday, right?
I believe
it should be Friday.
So we're thinking about Friday. Okay. Friday 7:30.
So it's Friday 7:30.
So
join us with our gifted realtor, James Evans.
Yes, sir.
I love that guy.
So it's interesting. If you're not familiar with what iBuyers are, it's companies like Zillow, companies OfferUp,
OfferPad, Open Door, Redfin.
Yes,
there are a lot.
And essentially, what they do is it's a big giant corporation that comes in and they put an offer on your home that's for sale, and it might be for asking price, it might be less, it might be a little bit more, and they give you, it's usually a pretty quick closing, and then what they're doing is they're basically going to come in, fix it up, do minor.
Are they going to fix it? Are they going to fix it?
Maybe not. They might paint over, some little holes or something, but either way, they're going to hopefully. Their plan is to flip it, put it back on the market, and sell it for more. No different than somebody flipping a house, but the person flipping the house actually can
it's actually put in
work, knows a little bit more what's going on. He's going to come in there and change some things, upgrade, update, all that kind of stuff. Whereas the big iBuyers, they're just coming in. They're basing their profits on what they're projecting the market is going to be in the upcoming future. So
yeah, that's exactly what Zillow did, and it bit them in the butt.
Yes.
They have recently sold, and we'll discuss this further. Zillow is the first to fail.
Yes.
I would imagine Open Doors closely behind them. There a lot of people are taking this moment of projected algorithms and really looking at it again. So, are they going to disappear? Don't think so.
Right.
I think there's a place in the market for them, but we're going to shed some light on the pros and cons of iBuyers.
Absolutely. So
right.
Look forward to that one on Friday. Unless something crazy happens. But yeah, Friday we'll put out some more stuff. Some flyers. Is that what we call them? Facebook postings, social medias. I don't know. We'll be putting flyers out on Light Post and like we lost a cat or something, but instead it's for our show. That's
sounds good. And then after Friday, that's gonna be my last one for at least 2 weeks.
What?
I'm getting married, bro.
Oh, that's right. Come on. You can do that.
Yeah,
Can you just go sign the paperwork, get back to work? Come on.
Bethany would kill me. She would never allow it. You would see would see an arm like coming out of the woodwork and just like grab it by the ear, just like yank.
Right out of the picture. She'll have one of those long canes that comes through and
old school cane, just yank you off the stage.
Exactly. So, well, don't tell her I said that, but
I will.
Bethany,
she'll watch it.
Cheers. Yes.
Cheers, Jared. Cheers to everyone that's been with us for episode 6, Whiskey with an Agent.
7. Episode 7.
You have it as episode 6, though.
What? Oh, I do, don't I? Hey, it's episode 7. My bad.
Oh wait, okay, no, sorry. It is on. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Ooh,
you're right. My mistake. On my end, it says 6, but it's 7.
Hey,
you got it right.
All the more reason you need to call me, hire me. This guy didn't know what he's talking about.
Said the newbie 1 year in.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
See you guys.